Arkansas Sports Network. It's an in-depth Arkansas Razorbacks podcast featuring the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Brad Caldwell.
When I grew up, I remember the Quinn Grovey days where the SWC champions in 88 and 89. I mean, that was the time that I grew up. That's the time that I got hooked on Razorbacks.
Around here, we call him the Rain Man of Arkansas Razorback Sports, Mr. Duran Miller.
Real quick, speaking about going down to Baton Rouge, and all the corn dogs and all that nature. But y'all remember the time Bobby Boucher intercepted the quarterback and his pants fell off?
And finally, he wears his hair upside down and he pushes all the buttons, Mr. Bill Harshaw.
When you look at the Razorback athletic program across the board, Hunter Yurichak's got this thing moving in the right direction because these kids are looking at Arkansas athletics going, hey, Arkansas is the place to be, and we haven't had that in a while.
Everyone get ready, because you're now connected to the RazorWire.
And welcome into yet another episode of the RazorWire. Bill Harshaw, Brad Caldwell, and Duran Miller joining you as always. But this time, fellas, we are live from Morrilton High School, where we are getting ready for a four-star commit and Arkansas Razorback commitment, Joseph Pinion, to sign his national letter of intent.
Yes, it's another awesome day here on the RazorWire and on the Arkansas Sports Network. We encourage you to share this out with your friends. You want to see a new Razorback commitment back, definitely share this out and let people know that you're watching this right here on the Arkansas Sports Network on both YouTube and on Facebook.
Yeah, it's an exciting day for the Razorbacks, exciting day for Joseph Pinion and his family, and for this Morrilton School District, this basketball program. Really excited to be a part of this, be here, and get to show this to y'all. Big day for Arkansas. Now,
we're going to talk a little bit about the Razorbacks before we get to Joseph. That event will kick off. I want to say that the students will be arriving in the gymnasium somewhere around the 12:40 mark of today, and so we'll be looking at that and bringing that to you live. But until then, we're going to talk a little bit of Razorbacks and things of that nature. And it's a big win for the Hogs Saturday, a big win over Mississippi State.
Massive win, huge win for Arkansas, because it's really about perspective in a lot of ways, and the perspective that you would be dealing with if you lose this ball game would have been tremendously different than it is right now. You just so much positivity now. You go into LSU with the opportunity to win that ball game and really go into Alabama at 7-3. I mean, who would have thought that coming into the season, really, that you're going to be 7? Well, I know some people that did, right? I mean,
right.
We've got it. I know.
that episode 16's out there somewhere.
Yes, it's there.
It might be on somebody's hard drive.
I think somebody took it away. I don't know. That they didn't like what we had to say.
No, I don't know. They didn't like that first play of the first drive of the second half against Rice, and got a little happy feet there. But
maybe.
But anyways, so yeah, man, 6-3. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Got a chance to beat LSU though.
Yes.
Get 7-3, but we're a 2-point conversion away from being 7-2 right now.
Yeah.
And only real losses,
That's huge.
that we weren't really in. We should have won the Auburn game too. I still think we're better than them. They outplayed us that day for sure.
For sure.
Georgia, that was a different thing. But you've got those two teams, and that Ole Miss was a tough one. But we've got a really good shot here to take Joseph Pinion's dad here with us. Come on in, Craig.
We're here.
Well, here, yeah.
Coach Craig Pinion. There you go. Go ahead. Those on. He's got this good hair going on. Be careful with that, right?
Right.
Thank you for allowing us to be here, first off. We do appreciate it. And let's just talk a little bit about your son. Let's talk about your son and who your son is, because everybody knows him to be a Razorback, but who is your son?
Joseph's a very hard-working. He's competitive. He's more of a silent leader, unlike his sister, who's more of a vocal leader. Kind of wish sometimes he had a little bit of Lily's spunk, but like I said, Joseph's worked very hard. When he got hurt here, I think it was January the 31st of his sophomore year, every time I come in here, I see it and repeat it over in my mind, and it scares me every time he plays. But when that happened, his recruiting was just about to take off. I mean, it was a situation where the next Friday Ole Miss was supposed to be here, and then, COVID hit, and so really it ended up being a blessing in disguise, because I think up to that point he had worked so hard and had no break, and he wasn't probably as hungry as he needed to be.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, it was a blessing, because with COVID hitting and the injury all taking place at the same time, we were able to get the surgery taken care of before everything closed down. But it was something where it gave him time where he couldn't do anything, and so he had to really evaluate, is this what I want to do? Am I willing to work that hard? And it was a struggle coming back. I mean, we were very cautious with it. Thankfully, in that time period is when Bill Self called and offered him a scholarship, and then and we told Coach Self, hey, he's injured. He knew that. He liked what he saw. And so, things just kind of continued from there. But, it was a time where he had to do some soul searching, and I think he grew up in a lot of ways. And like I said, the therapy and everything coming back was very difficult. But again, I think it did help him, because it gave him a break that, quite frankly, he wouldn't have had otherwise, because he was going from season to summer ball and back and forth, and this way he has had that break, and he knows what it's like not to have it. And so, I think it's, like I said, it was a blessing, and wouldn't want to go through it again. Yeah. But God knows what's best and better than our timing. So
let's back all the way up to when he was a kid. I mean, everybody has dreams. Every kid has a dream to be a Razorback. I mean, even my tubby self had a dream to be a Razorback at one time. Did you see this coming?
No.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, Coach Adams, who's going to speak here after a while, he was his seventh grade coach. He and Coach Zach both said they always saw something special in him. I have to give credit to John Parker. He did a great job training him. He also, from the very beginning, saw something special in him. Other people saw it. I'm the type that I'm a little more reserved. I know some people probably wouldn't think that, but in the way I think, I'm more reserved, and I didn't want to spend my entire 4 years or 5 years or 6 years with Joseph trying to drive him in one direction that I thought he needed to go. That's one of the reasons why I didn't want to coach him, because coaching my older children, I'm a pretty driven guy in some respects, and so that didn't always work out the best. But I wanted to be able to put him in positions to give him options. Thankfully, he's taken care of those options. Morrilton's been great to us. And no, I mean, to answer your question, no, I didn't see this coming. And even when the offers started coming in, it's still hard to believe, when you flip on that TV last night and watching Duke and Kentucky play, that next year your son may be a part of that. I mean, that's something for me that's hard to comprehend.
Well, I'll be honest with you, even me, because I've watched him now grow up. I really came across Joseph as a freshman myself, and I actually thought about this. He's trading Pottsville and Little Rock Mills and Maumelle for Kentucky and all of these others, and it's just going to be a really neat opportunity to get a chance to watch a kid that I watched grow up. Let's talk a little bit about his transition when he came in as a freshman. He was really more of a back-to-basket player, more of a 4-5 guy. He developed into a 3-4 guy. Tell us a little bit about how that transition happened.
Again, I think that was pretty much Coach Zachary's kind of plan, to get him in there, to get him playing without putting a lot of pressure on him. And so playing in that position, he was able to get the game experience. He was able to compete. And then as, other players graduated or whatever, he was able to move out to the floor. We've been, again, very blessed with his summer situation. He's always played as a guard. And, that helped the transition be a lot easier. When we talk to the coaches at Arkansas, one of the things, I've asked them, even as late as a month and a half ago, I said, can he play there? And, they were saying yes. They said when you look at recruits, you look at, do they have a definable skill? Mm-hmm. He said they don't have to do everything, but do they have a definable skill? He said Joseph has a definable skill. And they said, anytime Joseph shoots the ball, we think it's going in. Even when he wasn't playing that great this summer, that would be their thing. Just keep shooting the ball, keep shooting the ball. They want him to show more leadership ability. Hopefully, they feel like he has it, but sometimes Joseph doesn't really take the bull by the horns, and he kind of defers to some others because he's not a selfish player. And he really, in some cases, probably needs to be more selfish. And this year, we've got a young team. He's probably going to have to be a little more selfish. And so that'll help him in the future. Although, when he gets to Arkansas, he won't have to carry the load of the team like he's had to do in high school to some degree.
Sure.
So he'll be able to just relax and play. And I've heard a lot of people talk about how what Joseph does now translates well to the next level. I mean, it's not like, his game from everything I've been told translates real well to the next level.
All right. Well, Mr. Coach Craig Pinion, join us here as we get ready for the signing of Joseph Pinion with the Arkansas Razorbacks. We really appreciate you coming up here and talking with us.
Well, I appreciate y'all giving me this chance, and I appreciate y'all being here for us. It's an honor for our community. Probably people outside of me and my family see this as a much bigger thing than probably we do. We're kind of low keyed in a lot of ways, and I struggle with as being the principal now. I don't want it to make it look like I'm doing a lot of extra stuff for my children. I've never wanted to be that way, even when they weren't when they were just in the classroom. And so, I want to make it where any kid that signs with anybody gets this kind of as much publicity as we can give them. But I appreciate y'all being here.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Craig Pinion joining us here, the father of Joseph Pinion.
Appreciate it.
Join us here on the RazorWire portion of the Joseph Pinion signing. It's been good to have Mr. Pinion up here. Bill, you're an Atkins guy.
Yeah.
This guy, he started out there.
He started out
Atkins,
there.
right?
I remember those days.
Yeah.
I remember those days, seeing him out in the hallway. So it's good to see, knowing where they've came from. It's a good family.
Yes.
Great pedigree of athletes in the family, and it's good to see going places, getting up on the Razorback Hill.
So let's get back to it again. Joseph Pinion signing starts at 12:40 today, but let's get back to football. We got to get our football stuff in.
Well, we were talking about the record, and kind of surprising. We saw it coming. We knew that, at least preseason, we had a pretty good idea that Arkansas has a chance of making some waves, and we've done that. And like Jermaine said, we're just an extra point away from being 7-2. We're going bowling. And, news came out Saturday, and I'm a big fan of, there's a show on True TV called Untitled Chapter. I'm sure you guys have seen it.
Oh, yeah.
One of the skits they do, the guy always on there, Larry! I'm sitting there going, what in the heck?
You can cut in front of any line if you holler Larry.
If you haul Larry, it'll happen. Now, we start seeing the stuff coming out of the locker room, and we're going to share that here in just a second. Had the stuff coming out of the locker room where I'm like, what in the heck is going on with Larry?
Right.
My first thought was Impractical Jokers. I'm like, who was in the locker room, right? But, and then I watched the video, and I got a good idea of what was going on. And I looked over. I was sitting there on the couch. I looked over at my wife, and I said, I love this guy.
Yeah.
And she looks at me like I was crazy. I said, look, I love this guy. I love this coach.
Right.
And a lot of people share the same sentiments as I do, but check out this video from the locker room post-game.
A good-ass football team tonight. You beat them. There wasn't nobody giving you nothing. You beat them. And that's a hell of a win. A hell of a win. Now, we making this run. Y'all's making it look good. We went on the run against Pine Bluff. Check. Here we go. This game was the first of the B's, wasn't it? We already qualified. Next week, the boot. It's all about them B's. But listen, you got a great defensive coordinator, great defensive coach. You got a great offensive coordinator, great offensive coach. You got a great special teams coach. But we can't do that without you. We're bowl eligible, man. Let's go. We're going to a bowl. We're going to a bowl. So let's stand up. Hey, we're going to turn that damn jukebox. I can't say it without turning it on. But we're going to call the Hogs. But I'm going to introduce you to Larry. Larry. Somebody bring Larry in. it. I got one more thing to say. We're going to do it right now.
And, I don't care how many times I hear him say that. It's going to get to me every time.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I almost have a man crush on this guy, man.
That's what I'm saying.
He's just so likable, and you just hope that he makes it and he succeeds. In fact, they're talking about contracts and all that, and I think there's some clips in here that we're about to show you where he was talking to Hunter Yurachek when they signed him. Hunter's going over all of this about this is what happens if you fire me, and he looks at Yurachek. He says, "You're not going to want to fire me.
You're not going to fire me." Now he said that Saturday, I think, in the post-game press conference. And we were watching that on the way back from Little Rock Parkview. We had that red-white game that we did. We're watching the game on the way back, and we were watching the post-game press conferences.
Yeah.
And I remember texting you during that press conference. Man, that's a great cut right there.
That's it.
And it's just exciting. Anytime he takes the mic, you don't know what he's going to say. It's kind of like me. You don't know what he's going to say, but it's always going to be something that's going to be endearing to your heart.
Absolutely. He's just real. Just a real guy.
Got that man crush on him, kind of like Brad Pitt in Legends of the Fall. You're naming your kid Tristan or something.
Right.
But
that's it. I mean, whatever works, right?
He's awesome, and that what you're talking about. What I also took from that with the contract when Yurachek was sitting down with him doing it was like they asked him about, you got 6 wins now, so you got a bonus that kicks in when you get to 6. You're bowl eligible. And they were asking him about it, and he was like, when we were signing it, he's like, I don't even know what was in there. I wasn't paying attention. He just said, "Here, sign this. You're the head coach of Arkansas."
Yeah, that's it.
And that's all he cared about.
That's what he said. He's like, I don't really care what's in that contract. I just want to be the head coach of the University of Arkansas.
Yes.
He loves the facility. He loves the community. He loves the school, and he wants the school to succeed. He wants the program to succeed, and I think what he's done is he's gotten the fans on board with what he's doing, and I think the fans see that vision, and it's paying off.
So if you're just joining us, make sure you stay with us. We've got Joseph Pinion signing here coming up about 12:40, I think, is when things are supposed to get kicked off. But let's talk about the Mississippi State football game just a little bit. And again, we talked a little bit about how big that ball game was, but it was a game that I felt like Arkansas outplayed Mississippi State for most of it. And then we find ourselves down, with 2 minutes and 22 seconds or 21 seconds remaining. Arkansas's got the ball down 28-23. But for the second time this year, our quarterback, KJ Jefferson, leads the troops down the field to a touchdown that ended up being the game winner. Let's talk a little bit about that situation. What were you feeling when Mississippi State goes up 28-23? I can tell you before y'all get into it, we're at Corky's. Mississippi State scores a touchdown. You know what we did? We got up and we left. And we went outside. Now, we watched the game on the way home, but we were like, I'm not going to sit here and watch Arkansas.
We got to change the juju is what we were thinking. We sit here, we're going to watch them lose. And we're like, we got to change the mojo up a little bit. Let's get on the road. We'll finish it on the road. Maybe something good will happen, and it did.
It did.
Yeah, I was at work, so I can not comment a whole lot of what I was thinking about when I was watching it. But anyway, so I know what I was thinking was, how can we look this good? And it's kind of been a recurring theme this year is we have trouble finishing drives. We move the ball so well, and it's like I feel like Browse and Jefferson are just this close to really putting it together to where this offense is just unstoppable. And, we rack up the yards, go over 200 on the ground against a Mississippi State team that has an excellent run defense. And to be in that situation where, you might lose it here. And I was really not liking that feeling at the moment. But I still had trust that we could go down there and get it done. I was just like, I don't want any time left, In 21, I was like, I think we're good. And then didn't they drop right down there? Was it 3 straight passes for the field goal attempt? And luckily, we iced him a little bit, and he missed it. And that was a pretty cool scene when you saw the kicker Little go over there and talk to him, which I know, Bill, you and I were kind of messaging earlier in the game. And after he made that second one, he got that kind of he does that. He's got some swagger to him, Little does. And we were kind of like – Oh, man, because you know how kicking is. You know, don't be overconfident because the next one you might miss, which he did miss the next one. But then he made that final one. So, big stuff there. He actually missed his shortest one of the day, I believe, and made the longest one.
Yeah.
So
and the thing about, that the kicking game goes is, he's going over to the kicker afterwards. Those kickers may know each other. I don't know. But, that's a great gesture for a young kicker to go over to his opponent who they missed, 3 field goals on the day?
Right.
And to go over there and try to cheer him up, give him words of encouragement. I don't know if that's what it was. He could have been over there saying, hey, keep your head up high. You things are going to look up. He could have went over there and said, you know what, guys, the point of that is to get the ball between the uprights, and you're not going to get points if you don't. I don't know what he said, but I think it was a good gesture for him to do it.
He could have been saying something that, like Bobby Trino said to Alex the Auto
let's
once
not
in the
go there.
locker room, but we're not gonna get all into that. But you might have heard some rumors,
right?
Right, allegedly. But so yeah, that was a pretty cool moment though by Little, and Pittman was asked about that as well. We'll cut to that here in a little bit. But
yeah. Now, Pittman in the press conference Monday, he did look back a little bit on the penalties. That's a big thing that is hurting Arkansas is we can put together these drives.
Yeah.
It looks like Briles and Jefferson are putting together that system.
Right, and you shoot yourself in the
but
foot.
you shoot yourself in the foot. He talked about that a little bit. And then he gave us a really good look in at what to expect from LSU. So here's what Coach Sam Pittman had to say.
When you get penalties, it's the ones that you really can control. And I I'm sure I'll get people disagree with me here, but, holding – you're probably going to get a couple a game on both sides. It happens, pass interference is such a, the one down in the end zone the other night that we got right before the half. It was a bang, bang. If you slow it down and look at it, we were there a little early, but those things you're going to get. It's the stuff like we pick a pass and we hit somebody behind the play, which is basically automatic personal foul, no matter what. No matter how hard you hit him, no matter where you hit him, it's behind the ball. We call it the defenseless player. And then the false starts on offense and defense. Those are the ones that are coaching. And we have to get that fixed. We had several in the first half. One of them was strictly, and it's happened to me when I was the O-line coach. Ricky's making a call. He's making what we call a down call. We know nose is going to cross face. We've got a little gap scheme going. He's making a down call at the same time that KJ's calling for the ball. Those, we don't want them to happen. Those, I can see those happening. The one where we just forget the snap count or we're early, they have to stop. And the ones where we look at the football, and we work on it all the time. And Cody's kept them after practice, and we're going to do it again this week. And we've started clapping when we're doing our ball drills and individual and different things. But until we get disciplined enough, we're going to emphasize it again big time, because if we're going to get beat, somebody beat us. So I sent Pat Doherty out to find a bowling ball. And he went to somewhere and he said, man, they're expensive. And so I said, well, go down the bowling alley. They may have one or two laying around, And so he bought Larry for $20. I did, actually. And it was great because when he brought the bowling ball back, it had the name Larry on it. And I thought it was awesome, And so obviously I'd told Hunter before the game that if we win, we're going to bring Larry out, and so that's where we got it. And Larry was purchased for $20. And the thing about that is, I said it was like a Super Bowl for me personally and our team. I don't know what a Super Bowl feeling is. I don't. I know what winning the Rose Bowl is like, and I know what playing in a national championship game and those things are like. My opinion is about our football team. And if you were in our locker room, it can't get a whole lot better than what it did. Now, that's not the goal, but that was one of the goals. And when we reach a goal, we're going to celebrate it. Well, they want to run it, and they're a big counter team. That's the one thing that we have to run a naked boot off of that with Johnson. So they want to establish the run. They're not as much zone as what they were earlier in the year. It doesn't seem to me like they're more of a gap scheme, counter type. They love that play. They should. It's been going well for them. I love this Hines kid, the right guard. I mean, he's big, physical. Man, did he play well against Alabama? DeCoulis has been there forever. I think he's a super senior, but they have 4 of their 5 offensive linemen coming back. Unfortunately, Bradford, they've got hurt and is out for the season, but they've got a couple of backs that are quick. I really like 21 and 3, but 21 Kiner has got that Ole Miss type back to him, can make you miss in a phone booth type thing. And of course, they always have speed. Starting with Jenkins on the outside, they always have speed. So a lot of counter, a lot of zone, more counter than more gap than zone. They'll run some fly stuff from fly sweep, a lot of nakeds. And then Johnson, with his height and his throwing ability, he can drop back in the pocket. And they're getting better at protecting him as well. LSU, Neil Farrell, their nose guard is really good. I mean, we've got a nice matchup against him, with Ricky, but he's everywhere. Every film he put on, he's making plays. I really like him. I like number 8, BJ. I don't want to mispronounce his name. I like him as a speed rusher a lot. I love their linebackers. Damone Clark runs that defense, in my opinion. 18. He reminds me a little bit of the linebacker that Texas had. That makes can run, is physical. Bakersville is second into the mic. Bakersville is a second leading tackler there. Jay Ward is a guy in the secondary that will pop you. A lot of talent, LSU. They're going to be very, very talented. They'll run a little bit of 4-man line, a little bit of movement. They'll rock one way or the other. And then they'll be in there, what I call a mint front, where is a true nose and a pair of 4s. Do a little bit more of zone stuff out of that, movement, maybe a little bit more too off the edge. They had a great blitz package against Alabama. I mean, just a wonderful blitz package. You didn't know where they were. You would have to watch tape to get some indicators off of where they're coming from. But they put the quarterback from Alabama, in a lot of some hot situations. And so I think, they had another week to prepare for that game, and they did a great job on defense. I thought they played extremely hard, very physical, looked like a top 10, top 5 defense in the country against Alabama. LSU, I believe, played as physical and as hard as they have all year last week. So Coach Orgeron certainly has the team still, and they're very, very talented. They're LSU, but from what I saw on film, compared to the other weeks, they've always played hard, but I thought they played extremely well, physical Saturday against Bama. So I'm assuming that we'll get that too. We've got to speed up our offense a little bit. I thought we're playing a little bit slow. Saturday, we'll speed it up a little bit and try not to let them get into those looks and into those special packages. I think we'll have to be very, very cognizant of how we sub getting to third down so we can keep whom they have on the field. And maybe they can't get to some of those looks as well. But you're right. It looked like a fresher, different team as far as the blitzes were concerned. And so we're certainly anticipating that look versus the zone coverages. We're expecting a really good crowd. They support their team, and they'll be there. They'll support those kids, and we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a big emphasis on crowd noise this week for us, obviously. There's a trophy, and we'd like to have it, and certainly we know LSU would too. But believe Basil designed it. I think he designs everything, but he designed a trophy. It's a wonderful trophy. It was here 2 of my 3 years when I was here before. Very heavy trophy. But yeah, we'll talk about the boot and probably show a picture of it and things of that nature. We'd like to have it.
All right, so that's Coach Sam Pittman talking Monday about looking ahead at LSU and things that's going on. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited about it. LSU, I feel like they've kind of come out and, their coach is leaving at the end of the year. I feel like they kind of they had a bye week. They were really prepared for Bama. Played excellent. They held them to 6 yards rushing, which I don't care if there was a lot of sacks or not. When was the last time you seen a team hold Alabama to 6 yards rushing? I mean, that is something. But I do feel like they kind of put everything they had into that game, and I feel like there's going to be a little bit of a lull this week, and I'm really hoping for the Razorbacks' sake that there's going to be a little bit of a lull, and the Hogs have a good opportunity when they go down to Baton Rouge at 6 p.m. Saturday night under the lights, in Death Valley, which is a place you never want to play at that time of night. But Hogs are going to have to really bring their A game offensively because we kind of go as our running game goes, and if they show up and play like they did against Bama, it's going to be tough there. But I really think they kind of built it all up for that one game, and I expect a little bit of a letdown after this. But we'll see. We'll see if Coach O has the team.
And it's always fun going into Death Valley at night. It's going to be interesting. They're all going to be well hydrated. A lot of corn dogs going around. So, that's something to look forward to.
A lot of grass to chew on.
A lot of grass to chew on down there for Les Miles,
Yeah,
it's not that Arkansas grass, but
I think he knows how to say that right now.
You think he does?
He better. McFadden can find that bat if he don't. But so, anyways, I'm excited about it. Like I was saying, Brad, you kind of moving our setup around while we were talking there, but I really think that LSU kind of climaxed right there for that Bama game, and with the coach leaving, I feel like they're going to have a little bit of a letdown. That's kind of what I'm hoping. And we'll go in there and take care of business. And I know it isn't talked about enough. I know that they want us to push the whole battle line rivalry with Missouri. Pittman said it in the media days this summer, SEC media days, that Missouri's our rival. That's kind of something they're kind of told to do, because the SEC's trying to promote that crossover and all that. But let's be honest, when it comes to LSU and SEC, when it comes to SEC, LSU is our rival. That's the closest thing we have to a rival in the SEC until Texas comes in fully. And so I think they'll get up. He was here when we won the boot with Pittman. With Bielema. That was our first SEC win. And then the next year we went down there and we beat them by 14 again, or 17 again, 31-14 that one, 17-0 that first year. So I really think he'll have the team fired up. They want to win that Golden Boot. A lot of these kids grew up watching this rivalry, especially the Arkansas kids. And it's going to be a fun one.
It definitely is in Baton Rouge. So we do need to transition to hoops. As obviously we've got Joseph Pinion signing here very quickly. As you can see down here, he's taking pictures. Arkansas beats Mercer last night, 71-54. In a game that was a little bit sloppy.
Very sloppy.
Especially from the end of the first half into about the middle part of the second half. But Arkansas was able to turn it on and be able to push that lead out and really beat a pretty good Mercer team. I think the spread was 19. Arkansas won by 17.
I'll say this. I was impressed by that Mercer team. I think they're going to be a pretty good ball club this year. Of course, we helped them out a lot. They got a lot of open three-pointers. We didn't switch very well last night on defense. Gave them some opportunities. But did you hear the take about or what they were saying about J.D. Notte? So he wanted to go to Mercer. They didn't recruit him, and he didn't even tell Musselman that. I think it was trying to remember the reporter, but anyways, I think it was him that brought it up to Musselman. It was like the first question in the presser last night, and he's like, "No, he didn't share that with me. I wish he'd would have shared that with me in the pregame."
Right.
But that's kind of why he went off for 30 points a little bit. Of course, he's going to do that anyways. He's going to get his own. We know that, and Musselman did say, he has been practicing on some of those logo shots, and that they had to do a lot better job on their shot selection. But we kind of come out sluggish for sure, like you said, and our defense has to ratchet it up for sure.
Yep.
Way too many open looks on switching on the ball defenders and things of that
That's
nature.
it. That's the thing that I noticed the most is, around the perimeter when you're on the arc, it seemed like that Arkansas didn't know who you wanted to cover.
Yeah.
And was leaving them wide open for those threes, and they had way too many threes against Arkansas last night, and Arkansas gave up too many turnovers. And let me tell you, Mercer was doing a really good job, in my opinion, of being able to take advantage of that in transition. So, Arkansas has the turnover. They're in good position defensively to go down and transition that into points. And so that was a big thing I think that Mercer was doing. And Coach Musselman, I should say, kind of talked about that a little bit in his post-game press conference.
Selection across the board as a team. I'm just going to start rambling, but get off the – we've got to have a better assist-to-turnover ratio. We now have a body of work of 3 games. And so that's got to get better for sure. I thought our effort, energy was phenomenal. I thought DC Tony was off the. He was, in my opinion, not even close player of the game. We did not run one play for him, and he scored 18 points in the most efficient way you possibly can, going 7-9 from the field, and had 5 boards obviously and 11 total boards. So he was phenomenal. It's a great lesson for any player at any level, whether it's third grade CYO or YMCA ball or high school or whatever. Like, you don't need plays run for you to score. If you cut hard, you play hard, you offensive rebound, and you find open holes in the defense. So, I'm teaching 3-point defense just like I did with the year 1 team when we led the nation. Chris has to guard the 3-point line better for sure. Adise has to guard the 3-point line better. Stanley. So it's basically our 3 new guys, have got to understand our principles. And it's still early. Hopefully it won't be a reoccurring theme, but certainly, Kevin, through 2 of the 3 times that we've been out in public, because they torched us from 3. Jalen was awesome. He's our best facilitator. I can't play him at the point. But he's like, we need his passing. He's a willing passer. He's got great vision. I didn't start him. I told Chuck on the pregame, I didn't start him because when we started this prep, he wasn't he was still injured. And I think you saw, like, from a win standpoint, we really need him as quickly as we possibly can to get in better shape. But his effort, his basketball IQ, his understanding who to pass to, when to pass to him. I thought he was phenomenal. I'm not going to, he's going to start next game. He's a starter for us. Like I said, when we started this prep, he wasn't available. But he's going to start. I can tell you that. I don't know who else is, but I know he's going to start.
All right, so that's Coach Musselman talking what we were saying after the game. Let's go ahead now at this time, Brad.
We're going to turn it down to, this is Bill Ingram talking about he's the Arkansas Hawks founder that the AAU team at Joseph has played on.
What the most thing I appreciate about Joseph is these kids are going through this age circuit, getting better, reach their goals, and these run much better when they have great parents. And to have great parents around you that love all the kids, I never can appreciate that enough. So I'm here for him today, but also here for his parents because they were great to be in our program. They were great for him, of course. They were great for all the rest of the kids in our program. Don't do long speeches, but Joseph, proud of you. And of course, I'll be looking forward to watching you on the hill, continue to make all these people proud and the state proud. And to Mr. and Mrs. Pinion, thank you guys as well.
Okay, up next we have a former Devil Dog basketball coach and current high school coach and basketball coach at Watson Chapel. Coach Adams.
it's really kind of crazy right now. Just Joseph, been knowing him for 5 years, since the 7th grade. But I told Mr. P I'm going to tell this story. When he first moved here in the 7th grade, we met Mr. Pinion and Miss Pinion. They brought us, in the old gym. And myself and Coach Zach, we decided to have a workout session with him. So you know how Mr. Pinion is, he said, well, just do what you got to do with him. That's always his line. So after we finished working out with him, they came back and said, Coach, what do y'all think? And we told him, we said, he's a Division I basketball player. So when we told him that, they looked at us like, y'all must be nuts. And we said, no, we're not. Like, that's the potential we saw in him since the 7th grade. Now look where he is 5 years later. Like, one thing I always liked about Joseph, not in his parents as well, they allowed us to coach him. They allowed us to hold him accountable, to try to be the best version of himself. And that's one thing that we appreciate about the parents, and Joseph as well. Like, Joseph knows we have a special relationship, so I'm proud of him, I love him, I'm looking for big things after this senior season, and just know God's going to be your biggest supporter, okay? Thank you.
Okay, last but certainly not least, my favorite high school basketball coach in the whole world, Coach Zachary.
Stole my store? He stole my store? I'm gonna miss you, and I love you. That's all I can say.
Thanks, Coach Zachary. Okay, now we have a special video titled Dog to Hog. Boy, let's go out now. We got put off in the city.
I'm extremely excited to be able to commit to the hometown Arkansas. I felt there was no reason to wait. I wanted to go to Arkansas for a long time. I just felt like it was the right time. Like when I was younger, I really liked Arkansas. I was looking at games and stuff like that. So it was a really good feeling to get an offer.
Pinion again, crossover, pull up, bucket.
I feel like Arkansas has always been good at basketball, but now it's the time that you start to get looked at.
Pinion stuffs.
I want people to think that I'm a great player on the court, but a better person off the court. I just want to be known as a really good person and always let people out.
Pinion takes off to the rim and scores.
I just can't wait to see what Fayetteville's like. All the fans are going to be there. Everyone's going to be there. Sold out game. I just can't wait to be a part of it.
Sweet. Okay, now let's make this official, Joseph. Joseph, I just found out, is the first Morrilton Devil Dog basketball player to ever sign with the University of Arkansas basketball team. So give it up for Joseph. That's a big honor. All right, brother, it's all you. Let's go. Let's make it official. Way to go, Joseph. You're a hog, brother. Okay, now, at this time, I'm honored to invite the world's, not the nation's, the world's #1 Razorback fan, Kanan Sandy, down to lead us in the famous Arkansas Hog Call, along with the Booster Club mom, Shelly. Come on up.
Guess what? Let me say this. Joe, I miss you. I want to be like you. I'm just so big for you. I love you. Be Arkansas for me. I want you, black man. All-timer! Thanks for you.
Thank you, Katie. And now our last speaker, Devil Dog and Razorback himself, Joseph.
Alright, so I prepared a very miniature speech so all of you can get back to class. I know that's where everyone wants to be right now, so I'm going to sure make it sweet and make it simple. So first off, I want to thank God. Without none of this would be, or without him, none of this would be possible. You know, he's my everything in life. He's gotten me through so many situations. You know, I just appreciate him the most. Second off, I'd like to thank my family. Without their love and support, you know, I'd never be here. There's nothing really I could do without them. My coaches, all these coaches right here, have all coached me. Those are my guys. They've been here from the beginning. You know, they pushed me to be the best that I can be, and I just can't ever thank them for that. I'd also like to thank Morrilton for welcoming me as a 7th grader. You know, no one thought I'd be anything. You know, now we're up here having a little speech about me, and I appreciate it. I love all y'all so much. The support's been crazy since I moved here. Lastly, I'd like to thank Arkansas staff for giving me this opportunity. You know, believing in me, they've given me opportunity. Very few people have ever gotten it, and I just really appreciate that for that. Thank you all for coming today. Hope you all have a great day.
Okay, that concludes our signing. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out today. Students, you will return to 7th period. And while you're doing that, you will then think about how many cans of tuna you're going to bring tomorrow or Friday for our local food drive, all right? Yeah, bring that too. Current boys basketball and special guest reaction, please stay for refreshments and pictures. Thank you. Go Dogs and go Hogs.
I'll go get it.
All right.
Pretty cool.
Pretty cool. We got a Razorback in the building.
Yes, sir. And we got the #1 fan as well, Kanan Sandy. And, you know, Kanan Sandy, and he kind of has a special place in my heart.
Oh, yeah. And, you know, we had a chance to meet up with him when we went to Springdale.
Yeah.
So that was a good time to meet up with him. We're going to try to get Joseph Pinion come on up here.
Right.
He's talking to us. I think he's on his way. And Joseph will be up here in just a moment to visit with us. And we're going to get him and his opinions on that. And while we wait on him to come on up, let's go ahead and take a quick break. And we'll be back with more RazorWire in just a moment.
And that's what I really like about Sam Pittman. He's always genuine, and I really think he's very happy to be at the University of Arkansas.
Did I put a question mark in the teleprompter again? I forget you literally read that thing like exactly as it's written.
Oh, come on, Bill. You know you're just as off the cuff as Sam Pittman is.
At least y'all ain't got a wasp nest out here to deal with the size of Brad's head.
If people only knew what went on behind the scenes.
Oh, I know. For real, this is not Sports Center.
Back here on the RazorWire, and of course, Kanan Sandy in the house. Big time Razorback fan. If you know Razorback football, you've heard of Kane and Sandy.
Yeah. What I was talking about is, as y'all know here, Bill and Brad, my brother has Down syndrome, so I got to quit talking about it because I can't talk. But, I'm a big Razorback fan. My whole family is. My brother, he wears Razorback shirts all the time, so a lot of similarities there. Pretty cool deal.
Joseph's coming up our way right now.
Pinion is on the way. Pretty awesome right here.
Here, go ahead and take that.
Okay.
You got Joseph Pinion. He's coming up right now and talk to us.
Gotta get the 7th period.
There you go. Joseph Pinion, man of the hour. I'm about to pull the soundboard off of here. You got here, right here? Okay. So, man of the hour here, man. How does it feel have a childhood dream come true?
Man, it's a great feeling. I've wanted this ever since I was a little kid. Whenever I committed, October 23rd or October 13th. It was one of those days. It was one of those
way back. It's been a while now.
But, I'm just glad that I got this opportunity. I just couldn't do none of this without God.
Love to hear that. I love the humbleness that you show. Dad, I've known your dad for, I can't even tell you how many years now I've known your dad, but I stumbled across you as a freshman here, and you were playing center, basically.
Yeah.
So what was it like to transition from basically a back-to-the-back guy here in high school to a small forward, two-guard type of player?
It's been a hard transition, but, my coaches, they worked me really hard. They really believed in me. And I felt like with their trust, I just felt like I could do whatever on the court.
And a lot of people don't know you got a pretty good three-point stroke. Shooting from way back. I've watched you a couple times shooting it from that John Widener, I believe that's the name there, John Widener Arena there. So, Joseph, it's good to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your relationship with Muss and how that played a factor, you being a Razorback.
He was just always on. He was just always talking to me, always texting me. I got messages every day from him and his staff. I just feel like no other program was doing that. So I just felt like they were the best.
And, of course, again, a chance to be a Razorback has obviously got to be a big thing for you as well. Tell us about your senior season coming up here. We're going to try to get out here and live stream a game for you here. Tell us a little bit about what you guys have and what your expectations are for your senior season.
We got a young team. We lost a lot of good players. We lost most of our starters. I think everyone but me is gone. But I just feel like, our goal always is the same goal every year. We're trying to win state.
All right. Well, Joseph Pinion here joining us here on the RazorWire. Signing day. Joseph is officially a Razorback.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Thank you for coming up
Absolutely.
here and talking with us.
Appreciate it, y'all.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Pretty cool, humble, very humble kid.
Yes.
And I'm excited to see him in a Razorback uniform, stretching the defense. He reminds me, he's got a good shot. He reminds me a lot of some Isaiah Joe a little bit. Isaiah Joe was kind of like Pinion. He's sneaky athletic, a lot more athletic than a lot of people think. And I think he's going to work well. He's one of those positionless top guys that Muss loves. That he's going to be able to play anywhere from basically the 2 to the 4, maybe even the 5 occasionally, but more than likely 2 to 4 and get up and down the court with some small ball and really going to fit well in that system.
Well, like we said, we're going to try to be up here to live stream a game. We're working that situation out even as of now. We've got tomorrow night. We've got playoff football with another Razorback commitment, James Joynter. James Joynter, last time we had Parkview, 5 touchdowns, 266 yards. Parkview takes on the Cersei Lions, so you don't want to miss that if you're into big-time high school football. And, again, with the Arkansas Sports Network, this is the type of stuff that we're going to bring you from here on out, from here until Jesus comes back. You know what I mean? We're going to bring you stuff like this. We're going to bring you high school football and who else knows what we'll get into by the time it's all said and done. So you definitely want to make sure that you're hitting that like button, hitting that, make sure you're subscribed to us on YouTube, however you need to do it, because a lot of big things happening here.
Yeah, we're excited about it. It's playoff football time. Really no better time. And then you got basketball coming in at the same time, and it's just a great time of the year. Love it, and we're excited to do a lot of things with basketball this season. So definitely be watching us, subscribe like Brad said on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and you're going to get those notifications first and find out where we're going to be and what's happening.
You good?
I'm good. I think we wrapped it up here from Morrilton High School. It's been a a good razor wire. I
Yes.
think, it was the first time that we've been in a live gymnasium doing the show, and I knew we was going to have some audio with the students when they came in, but I thought they did pretty well. They were well behaved.
There you go.
Right.
So again, also make sure you join us weekly here on the Razor Wire.
Coach Pinion's a principal, so they got to be well behaved.
Right.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Brad.
But anyway, join us here on the Razor Wire here on every week. We got Kanan coming up here. We want to get Kanan on real quick.
We might.
Let's see if we can get Kanan on here real quick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Can we bring him on?
I'm sorry?
Can we bring him on? We're live right now.
Now, I'm not his mom.
Oh, yeah?
That's his mama down there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mom!
We're trying to get Kanan Sandy on with us right now. We'll,
Teacher! Teacher, Sandy! Teacher!
We need Mom!
Mom!
Looking for mom. Got to get.
Mama!
right?
Mom! Mom!
Okay, I'll bring him.
Teacher!
We're going to go see if we
while
can
we're
get
working on
the
that
authorization
again,
on
make sure
that.
that you join us here on the
You're
Razor
good.
Wire on a weekly basis. And what else? Is there anything else we got going on?
Kanan
We're good?
apologizing to
We're
us
good?
for making us wait.
All right,
Here
Kanan
he
Sandy,
is.
come on up, buddy. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Kanan, it's a pleasure to have you here. Let me fix those for you. I don't know if they fix any better than that. Well, Bill's got a big head. You know what I mean?
I am. Big head, too.
Hey, it's good
What's
to have
up,
you,
guys?
man. The Razorback #1 fan.
Thank you so much.
You got Joseph Pinion. You see your
I
buddies,
do.
right? He's your
I
friend.
do.
Yeah.
Guess what, Mom did? Love him, and he needs to tell me about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so baby, good. Awesome, about 13 points over the Mercer Bears.
Yeah.
Lost.
Yeah.
Guess what, by the way, Aaron must me. He may get for Joe. He be good for him.
Yeah, I think so. I think
I want him.
Musselman's going to love him, ain't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
I
he
love
is.
Eric Musman because Eric Musman is good football player. Also, 1-0.
Yeah.
We're gonna be good shape.
Yeah, I think we're going to do all right this year, don't you?
We did good.
How about that hog football season this year?
Football game did also won by 3 points over Mississippi State.
That's right.
So it's Sonic Bears. One more thing. I'm gonna pick for Arkansas win over LSU next week.
Yes.
Because Arkansas got upset pick.
Yeah.
I don't care. LSU is not good enough.
There you go.
right.
Thanks so
Appreciate
much.
it. Appreciate you joining
Thanks so
us
much,
here.
all.
Kane and Sandy join us here. You want to wrap it up with that? Let's just go ahead and do that. Kane and Sandy join us here. You've seen Joseph Pinion signing today here on the Razor Wire for Bill, Duran, Brad. I'm Brad, and we're going to say so long. It has been an honor and a privilege to join you here on the Razor Wire for the signing of Joseph Pinion once again. Make sure you join us tomorrow night as we've got Little Rock Parkview in Searcy with Razorback commitment James Joynter live from War Memorial Stadium. You do not want to miss that. So we're going to just say so long. And again, join us each week as we bring you the Razor Wire and all of the good things that we've got going on here throughout the Arkansas Sports Network. So until next time.
The Razor Wire.